Ladies, if you are a tequila girly, you're on a fat loss journey, hormone health journey, looking for the best tequilas, follow my Tequila Fat Loss Hierarchy. So, not all tequilas are the same. Not all alcohols are the same. We got tequila, then we got gin, then we got vodka, and then we have whiskey, rum, bourbon. From best to worst in terms of least inflammatory. Now, inside of tequila, there are many factors of tequila. Like I've gone through a couple of them, but I'm going to sum it up all here in one nice, concise little bunch you can actually easily implement next time you're at Total Wines or Costco and you're looking for a tequila. I can get you covered there, okay? So, just like your dumbass influencer telling you, oh, processed food's bad for you. Well, a protein bar and a chocolate bar have a lot different effects on the human body, just like different liquors do, just like different tequilas do. If you drink a horrible tequila and you have a horrible hangover the next day versus if you drank a additive-free clean tequila, yeah, that's going to affect your body very differently, not just from a hangover perspective, but just from overall fat loss hormone health perspective. So what's the first thing we want to look at? Okay. What is the first thing? Well, you want to look at tequila type. So what types of tequila do we have? Well, there's three that you're going to be familiar with. I'm not going to go through the rest of them, but blanco, reposado, and añejo. All of them are different from the aging. Now, añejo is aged the longest in a cask barrel. And so the blanco is what you want to tend to go to, prioritize that first. Then it's going to be the reposado, and then it's going to be the añejo. So you notice if you look at a blanco versus añejo versus a reposado, it's clear, darker, darkest. And why it's clear, darker, darkest, what gives it its color? Can't speak today. What gives it its color is the time that it's been in the cask barrel getting aged, because the esters from the barrel are what give it its color, its taste, its smell, its taste profile, right? Which I love. Like, that's why I love bourbons. They're aged and, whatever. But that also does mean the most liver detox burden, the most congeners, the most inflammatory effect on your body. So, blanco, reposado, añejo. Then we're going to look at mixto tequila versus 100% Blue Weber Agave. To be considered real tequila, 51% or more needs to be coming from the Blue Weber Agave plant. The rest of it can come from whatever, right? So as long as 51%, it can be whatever, the rest of it. That's what they would call tequila, or they would call it mixto tequila. So when people actually say tequila, they're referring to mixto tequila. People that are in the know, whatever. A little fun fact there. Now, the 100% Blue Weber Agave, because the agave plant does have more inflammatory properties, is the one that you want to look for on the bottle. Pretty simple. They'll all say 100% Blue Weber Agave if they are 100% Blue Weber Agave. Okay. Mixto tequila is not that good. And usually it is filled with additives and other different things in there. Okay. So that's the second thing. Now, the third thing you want to look at is the additives. Over 60% of tequilas have additives, and by law, you can have 1% of the tequila containing additives legally, right? Additives like glycerin, coloring, sugars, that type of thing. Now, the problem with additive-free tequila is Agave Matchmaker has actually scrubbed their database of 100% additive free. They used to have a whole bunch of additive frees, and I think like a year ago they scrubbed their database and they deleted this section. I'm not sure exactly why. I'm sure it was like something to do with legality, or they couldn't tell, or whatever. Probably when all this stuff was going under scrutiny, honestly, with all these companies coming under fire for not having 100% Blue Weber Agave. So like, we don't want any business in that either. I get it. But as of 2024, you really can't tell which ones are additive free on agavematchmaker.com. You could do a hand test, which basically you pour the tequila on your hand. So if you pour like a Lalo tequila, since Lalo is additive free, versus if you poured some like 1942, the 1942 Don Julio would be a little sticky in your hand, and then the Lalo would be very dried up, like it wouldn't be sticky at all. So that's one way. But the most popular are going to be Ocho, Lalo, G4, Volcan, El Tesoro, and Don Fulano. Those are going to be the most popular additive frees. The best signal is if you go on agavematchmaker.com, you're looking at these tequilas, is if they use traditional practices. So traditional practices being Tahona Stone versus autoclave. Or sorry, no, Tahona Stone versus, what's the other? God damn. What's the other extraction method? I'm not sure. Tahona Stone. So you just want to look and see if they have they use Tahona Stone. Basically, that's what crushes the agave. Brick ovens versus autoclave method. It's another way to look at it. And then the slow fermentation with traditional yeast. I know Inspiro Tequila, their master distiller. This is like an all women's brand. She's the master distiller. I forget her name, but she's like massive into the fermentation process. So there's like open air fermentation. There's the traditional practice of fermentation. So you kind of want to look at that, and that's going to be pretty indicative of if they're additive free or not. The other thing you want to look at, the last thing I would look at, and this is important, but it's also misleading, is single nom. So I've gone through single nom and why it is superior. Like, it is superior because they have ultimate control from base of the plant to the liquid. Ultimate control. If you have like 7 brands, don't have that much control, right? But that said, the problem with single nom is a lot of different big companies like Terramana is still a single nom. Terramana is not a good tequila. Really bad tequila. Like, they want to cut costs. They want to basically, put as many additives as possible in there, and really just not make a good tequila. They're mass produced. So that is the problem with single nom. So that's the hierarchy. Stick with. If you want my top 10 tequilas list, go on Instagram, DM me at Dylan A. Condon. I'll send it to you ASAP. Love y'all. Bye.